welcome to Inside of New England's Therapeutic Talk. Please like, subscribe, and comment below. I'm Candace and you're watching Inside of New England's Therapeutic Talk. Today I am going to share my third story time on this channel. But first, before I share the story, I just want to reintroduce myself. My name is Candace. I am a licensed professional counselor. I have my own practice called Inside of New England, LLC. Started this channel so that we could talk about therapeutic interventions, current events, and also have guest speakers come and talk about things that they are doing as well. And I'm very excited to say that there's going to be a lot of guest speakers coming up. So that's why I just wanted to do a quick story time just to throw in here with some of the guest speakers that are coming. So we'll have a few of them coming up soon, and also I'll be presenting for the first time at a conference next weekend, so hopefully I'll be able to figure out a way to share some of that with you guys as well. So there's a lot of exciting things coming up, and I'm really excited. I'm going to be really busy, but I'm going to keep posting. So please, if you want to support what I'm doing, please subscribe. Please like and comment below. I also will attach my email address. If you want, you can email me as well. A lot of people are texting me comments, and I really appreciate those comments, but if you can comment below as well, that would be really, really great. So let me get started with my story. So today's story takes place when I was in high school. I think I was about a junior in high school. This is a really, really quick story. There's not really much to tell. I went to a friend's house. So I lived in the suburbs, and I lived in Cromwell, Connecticut. So I don't know if anyone, if you're familiar with it or not, but it's, mostly white, it's a white community, small town, very small town. So the story takes place, I was a junior, and I went to a friend's house that lived nearby, and I was over for maybe, I don't know how long, maybe a couple hours or something. Quickly said hello, to her parents before I went to her room, and we were doing whatever we were doing there. And then when I left, so later on, like the next day or something, I saw my friend, and she told me that her stepfather told her that basically that she was lucky that I wasn't any darker, because if I had been any darker, I would not have been allowed in the house or allowed to come back in the house again. So I am just going to sit and let that marinate in everybody's head, because that is the story. Of course, my friend was very offended. She was very annoyed, it's her stepfather, so she didn't, applaud him for this behavior or agree with it in any way. But so I wanted to, the reason why usually people are shocked when I tell them this, that this happened. For me, it wasn't really, it was, messed up, that this happened, when it happened. I, trying to think back to how I felt when it actually happened. I think it was messed up, but and shocking a little bit, but not unrealistic for something like this to be said, or not entirely shocking that it was said, or because I know that things like this happen and that people judge based on skin tone. So the psychological, so what comes to my mind is colorism. And colorism is a real thing. And I did a lot of research on this in my undergrad program, and I'll probably share that with you guys later at a later date. But colorism is basically when we are judging people based on their skin tone. So a lot of times, especially within the African American community, we tend to stereotype or judge based on the skin tone. You know, maybe a higher status based on having a lighter skin tone, as it being portrayed as being closer to being white, and stuff like that. I'm not going to completely go into all of that today. But so that gets done within the African American community a lot of times. That happens. But then it also happens outside of our community. So, you know, for example, this stepfather, because he was white. So if I had been any darker, I would not have been allowed back into the house, or allowed that day into the house. And that's basically what he was portraying, the whole colorism theory. So, and this dates back to slavery. And, you know, it's very interesting because it dates so far back. It goes back into slavery, right? But it's so relevant today. You know, this is still happening today. It's like we're still judging people and allowing people to go into places based on their skin tone. I don't know. It's ridiculous, you know. But it's true. It's happening. And you know, it's sad because it does, you know, hysterically, it goes back to slavery, you know. And the whole thing with him saying, like, that I could not go into the house if I was any darker really takes me back into slavery, because that's basically where this all started. The whole colorism theory, it started then, because what was happening was, you know, if you were lighter, you were in the house. If you were darker skinned, you were out in the fields. Not that it was any easier for the people who were in the house, because, you know, they got treated pretty badly. I mean, a lot of them were raped, you know. Both light and dark were treated not nice, right? But for whatever reason, it was seen as a higher status because you were inside of the house. So him saying that, you know, when I think about the whole situation, it is a lot like that. It's like slavery. Or, you know, if you look up paper bag, like there was a paper bag thing where they would put a bag up to your face and see if you were dark enough, like you'd have to pass this paper bag test to get into different parties or something like this back in the day too. So it makes me think about those things, and colorism, and it makes me think about how a lot of people within our community, because I have other stories about this. I have other stories about this because being judged based on my skin tone. And I know a lot of biracial people deal with this as well. I'm Black, but and I am not white, besides, you know, whatever's mixed in there. I mean, both of my parents are black, but I have a lighter skin tone. So a lot of times there's these assumptions that come in, and stereotypes that go along with them. And, you know, I just wanted to give this quick little story and let it like kind of marinate in people's heads. I mean, the fact that usually when I say this, people just look at me like I'm shocked, when like they're shocked or, you know, just how could somebody even say that? But, you know, they did say it, you know, again, I mean, I know I'm getting older and that was a long time ago, but, you know, it really wasn't that long ago. And I mean, the fact that it even happened within my lifetime with me not being that old, is concerning. And I'm quite sure that there's a lot of people today who are, you know, kind of looking at it that way. Like, well, gee, that person's, you know, light enough to be accepted here, you know, with us white people, and can come into my home. And that's okay. But if they're any darker than that, they cannot come in. So, you know, it's point blank racism, right? And to be honest, my own personal opinion is, if that's the way that you're judging people that can come into your home, I don't want to come in anyway. So that's where I stand, you know. I don't care if you accept me or not. Like, I'd rather just stay home. I don't have to be a party for your party. So there. So that's your loss, not mine. Because I'm fun. Not accepting everybody in your house, then I don't want to come either. So there. So that's my story. I do have some other stories, like little stories, around that I've experienced, and I will be happy to share them at a later date. I just wanted to give a quick story just in case. I should be having some guest speakers coming up as well, like I said before. Please subscribe, and I hope that everybody is safe. I hope that everybody is well. Stay safe, stay well, and if you have not, I don't know what the cutoff is to registering to vote, but make sure you register. You are registered. Make sure you know where you're supposed to go. Make sure you get your little absentee thing if you haven't gotten it yet. And also, if you are, I think it's 16 and up, you can work at the polls. And I heard from a couple of other kids that worked at the primaries that they got paid pretty well. They got paid well. They got free food to eat for lunch and breakfast, and they said it was awesome. So check it out if you need a little extra money, because they do need people to work at the polls, I think, because a lot of the older people can't work because of COVID. So definitely look into that, young people. And yeah, so everybody stay safe, stay well. I hope that, you know, the story is something to just like thinking about colorism and how it actually takes place within our community, that we're doing this to each other and other people are still doing this to us, and it dates back to slavery, and it just needs to stop, right? I mean, isn't it getting old yet? You know, we're all people. We're human beings, right? I don't care, like, you can have dark skin, light skin. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm still black, you know? So, you know, light, dark, whatever, you know, it doesn't matter, right? Somebody is white and light skinned, I mean, they're still having the same body parts, right? I mean, they're still a human being. They breathe, they, you know, they're human still. So it just, what difference does it make? So stay safe, stay well, and I hope that I will see you again soon. and thank you for joining me. Bye.